Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has stopped the fight, presenting the winner and still champion of the world, the Lone Warrior.
And welcome to the Lone Warrior Podcast episode 11. There's going to be a day that I will lose count and I will have to check on the YouTube page on what episode I am, but it is not this day, and I am yours truly, the Lone Warrior. Will be playing Breath of Fire. If you have been following the series, you should be familiar with the format now, but for those who are new to the show, and if you're ever watching this on YouTube, I just go about this blindly. I talk about other things while I'm playing the game, and I try my best to balance out the guides and whatever topic that comes into mind, because these kinds of games kind of get drawn out for the most part. You know, when you are just playing and you know how the game goes, you know where to go, but sometimes if you haven't played the game recently, it will cause you to stumble upon blocks of what to do and what not to do. So recap. I played a bit off stream. I was afraid of moving the files for the Breath of Fire game, so I wanted to play Breath of Fire during the weekend, but knowing that I'll be using the new rig, I've holden off playing for the meantime. I did play a bit earlier, and what I got was no, Nina already has vitalized from the last episode, but with Ray, I got a new skill called Might. It's a buff for the party. Ryu still the same, but he has an increased level. Sias, on the other hand, has also raised dead now, so we got two support class in the party. So Nina or Sias can revive each other if they happen to die or what, or not die, get knocked out in battle. And as for items, nothing changed too much. Sias still doesn't have a master. And another thing that I would like to show you if I can is the fairy town, because that would be an important factor later on in the game. So to go to fairy town, I have to set up camp here. Let's talk to the fairies, or no, the fairy in the camp. So we get sent to the Land of Dreams, and the Land of Dreams, there will be a bulletin board here. So we got 2 houses finished, and more recently I got a trade-off of 1 fairy being born and 1 fairy passing away. And as you can see here, the jobs and orders, there is a shop. There are shops available now for the Land of Dreams, but after getting 1 fairy less for the population, I've decided now they will hunt for the meantime. So we got 3 fairies overall here. If the population grows bigger, maybe I'll think about manning the shops or just clearing out the plots here. See, the game says empty plants cannot be selected. You can select plots, or you can have an aerial view of what plot it's supposed to be. So eventually, as the game goes on, those plots will be cleared. Okay, so I think that's enough for the recap. Story-wise, though, we're still at the point where Urshin is still not in the party. I don't want to preemptively tell the story because we got a new liker, Mr. Dan Magallanes. Thanks for the like. Welcome to the stream. You're just in time for the Lone Warrior Podcast recap. So story-wise, Urshin is the center point of the plot. The party just found out that there is another Urshin inside the armor, but from the perspective of the gamer, the plot reveals to you that there will be 2 Urshins as this plot goes on, and 1 Urshin is not named Urshin. I know it gets confusing. Yes, this is RPG games, you know, but bear with me. The Urshin that that will have the name Urshin is the one with the armor, and the other Urshin that is supposed to be free or is a demigod is not called Urshin. And that's storywise now. So we'll go back in the town of Czech. I've saved outside just to prevent me from mixing up things. So storywise, we're at this point. So the topic I have in mind, if you are catching the caption here on the live, is AskHoles. I don't know specifically if you've encountered AskHoles recently, but I'm pretty sure that every day or in the past you have encountered AskHoles. But before we get to that, I'm gonna let the game move on with its plot. So they're calling the demigod or the endless. I'm gonna call them endless now. They're calling the endless god Urshin here, but the Urshin that they know, or this endless, is not named Urshin. It's actually named Deis. Deis, but it's spelled Deis. So I'm pronouncing it as Deis. That's the name of the endless here. So they catered to Deis's needs. She wanted to be fed, treated like a god of some sort. So this is why we're here. So forcing a god awake is not the safest thing to do, blah 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 blah. So they need answers from Deis here, and that's what's the party is going to do now. Shout out, by the way, to Cobra Instinct, the unofficial drink of the podcast, because they are not sponsoring me to do this, but I do like their products, support local and whatnot. Simple blah 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 blah. Yes, travel to the land of dreams again, but this time this is not dream world fairyland. This is inside the mind of a demigod. So I had this topic in mind, AskHoles, and for all intents and purposes of the curiosity of the audience, how do I think about the topics of the podcast? I do usually prepare them. I listen to podcasts, also other content creators, other shows, and usually I get off my train of thought from there. And for the most part, I try to be as coherent or comprehensive in my explanation as possible, because I don't want anyone viewing the past episodes hearing babble or confusing things. Which I want to get to that. The last episode, I don't know what I was on, but I wasn't clear enough with the agency and responsibility. I got the definitions confused. So agency is supposed to have control of the outcome, not living necessarily with the results. So yeah, I talked about it last episode. So if you want to check it out, it's about responsibility and agency, how people want to take the responsibility away from other people, or I didn't get into it that much. People want to take away the responsibility from themselves, but in essence, it also takes away the agency, living with the results. That's what I wanted to say. But if you don't have agency, you can control the results, because you don't have the will, or you're not forcing any process to align what outcome you want it to be, so to speak. So yeah, now AskHoles. Well, this is the third time I've said that, and my train of thought isn't working. So let me tell you a story, guys. I don't usually give out advice. It's not my thing. I usually just listen and ask people what do they want. Kind of lazy, I know. Sometimes people want answers to the meaning of life. What does the number 42 mean? What should I do with my life? Things like that. So let's see what happens here with Urshin first before we continue. I don't know if I'll timestamp this in the game. So this is Deis having lewd thoughts. Look at the fantasy this endless being has. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that correct? So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 10. 4 here. There's 4 at the. There's 4 on the left side. 1 is hidden behind the transparent curtain. 4 on the right, and 2 on the stairs. And you have to show up. The dialogue doesn't really matter, guys. For you, I guess you can pause and read, but let me do the explanations, and then we can have a discussion. Tell me, Mighty Goddess. No. Let's see. I'm sorry. What's up with this word? Okay. Urshin's just complaining, or no, Deis is just complaining here. It's done. It's done. It's not done. What to do now? Stripe friend. What happens to you is tied up with what happens to your little. So whatever you chooses, the party is in it for the ride. That actually, I don't know if I want to discuss this at this point. So, Deis here tells the party whatever Ryu chooses, the party will be the most affected. But I don't know if I mentioned this in the previous episodes too. Kind of forget. 11 episodes. I forget what I talk about the game. But in the end game, spoilers. Spoilers for about 20 years of this thing. So at the end point, you get to choose on what Ryu will become. Will he become a savior for the humans, or will he become one with the Emperor, Fou-Lu? So whatsoever you choose there, it affects the whole party, because it's either you fight the party or you fight with the party. The Mayan Empire manages to call the another war. We got a new liker. This is a new name, Patrick Rilera. I can't read. Thanks for the like, sir. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy your stay. So they don't want the Empire to have that kind of power. Blah blah blah. That's great. Speaking with his village in mind, I guess. Ryu is part of the Emperor, then the Emperor is part of Ryu, or what? Ryu is strong as the Emperor, then so we have now to strengthen Ryu. Maybe this this time I can finally look for dragons. Got Mr. Angelos Juanque. Welcome to the stream, sir. You got the comments here. I hope it's not too big. I can read it still, but thanks for the like, sir. Welcome to the stream. He says I'm the real idol, but he is definitely the more idol here. Okay. So now the party is having a grasp of what to do. I'm having an idea on what to do next. So how do you make Ryu stronger? I need to wake up. Okay. I should prepare. What was the AskHoles topic? We got Mr. Ratnochete on the stream too. You're my idol also. We are all each other's idols because we like to bring ourselves up. What do you call this? Body positivity. Hashtag. Anyway, welcome to the stream, sir. I hope you enjoy your stay. I was talking about AskHoles earlier. AskHoles. So, wait, how do I leave? Okay, I remember now. So you probably encountered AskHoles. I was telling a story earlier. What was it about? I want to swear, but that is agreeable. We are all our idols. Yes. That is the mindset, the idol mindset. I was telling a story about an AskHoles encounter. It's not really that personal. It's more of an anecdotal story. You know when people ask for advice from you, and then you dig deep into your hearts and minds of other people who gave the answer to a certain problem, and then the asshole, the rare creature that is the person who asks you a question and then proceeds to ignore your answer. Oh, we got a star giver here, Mr. Patrick Ortega. Thank you for the star, sir. And welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy your stay. I was thinking of streaming X1, but then my idol must live. If you stream Mr. Idol Ralph, I will watch that Mega Man X1. Don't worry. We all support each other, you know, the icky, gooey, fluffy stuff you give to other people. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, you dig deep into your resources, ask the people what they think about a certain problem to these persons. But the assholes, these rare creature that disguise themselves as humans, they're from another dimension. Because what kind of person, if you ask yourself, what kind of person would seek an answer and then proceed to dismiss your collected opinions, collected thoughts, and genuine, heartfelt advices, and proceed to dismiss it outright? I don't know, right? Why do assholes exist? But sometimes there's the other side of the fence there, where the asshole is actually unaware that asking this question and then dismissing it is kind of rude. So assholes will not be going away, because despite the amount of information in today's day and age, they still exist. That's the sad reality. And it comes from a problem of not lacking information, but now we have the problem of too much information and you don't know what to use. So now there's still the problem of the asshole. It's not really going away, is it, right? Instead of what do I do, and the question now is what do I choose? So the example that I want to give here is an advice, but let's see what Deis says here. Where do we go? Yori Shrine. Oh, we have to call the other dragons. Okay. Distant cousins, blah blah blah. Before we continue on to the point of the example of assholes, why they are not going away, and why people should see that there's the real name. There's the Deis. Why people should see that the asshole is not the problem, it's merely a symptom. Urshin, what is the language? Urshin is supposed to mean master. So do we get Urshin too? Let's see. So where is the Yori Shrine? Mountains are west of here. Let's see if the armor is alive. See? The armor is alive. It has eyeballs, but it's not moving. There's a hint there that Urshin, the armor, will return to the party soon. Urshin will return by means of the Endless being powerful enough to make the armor alive. So like there's Ryu's endless energy, then Deis' endless energy, then they will revive Urshin as a side effect, and Urshin will still retain the free will Urshin had. So yeah, we got what if what the heck is this? So Ralph asks a question here. So what does the person do if the person doesn't have a PC and he can't access Google or any other search engine. So I want to explain on that further. We'll get into some Jordan Peterson stuff. Before that, story time. The plot will move. Look at this. The armor is alive. And there's no person manning it. So this is the power of the endless. It can make inanimate objects alive. So I am saddened by the fact that you have left Urshin, but Urshin is laughing. So it's kind of confusing if you try to read the dialogue box at this point. Urshin the armor calls Deis still Urshin, and Deis calls the armor Urshin. So when Urshin the armor speaks, it's like Urshin the armor is talking to a third person, but it's actually talking to Deis. Anyway, they get back together. Spoiler. So Ralph is asking a good question here. What if the person doesn't have an access to information? Like I said earlier, this problem came about because we have now too much information. Usually, or no, not usually. The trend back then was if you don't know what to do, refer to an encyclopedia, to a library. To get the information, there must be something there. But with the age of the internet where information is accessible, that problem got thrown away in the equation. So you don't have any issues now with the information access. So how did the people from the past resolve their problems? Usually, they just did. They just did. They took action, and they made it through trial and error. Some were smart enough to take notes, and that's why we see lots of information today. They've accumulated notes from the past, from their mistakes, from their successes, and they shared it through the internet. So the answer would be, for Rob's question, if a person doesn't have any access to any reference material that might help him or her, or you don't have the information that you need to take the necessary preparations, what people did back then was just take action. And when something failed, they took notes, and then they just improved from there again. So this actually expands where Jordan Peterson has a free online lecture on his YouTube, which is called Maps of Meaning. And in the Maps of Meaning, he dives into ancient civilizations. Well, I don't want to hype it up like that, but the point of the lecture was there wasn't information back then. From the time of, well, way back then, I guess you can call it the time of the Greeks, the Romans, or even in the last century, like 1950s to 1990s. And in the Maps of Meaning, he tries to breaks down how people gave the symbolism of what they see, or in the literature, in the art. They try to give meaning or give the message through the art, or I guess the literature, so to speak. So he references materials there such as Pinocchio, the Bible, and he says that people back then didn't have the information that we have now, but they have survived. So this kind of goes to a tangent here where virtue is a necessity on how people survived back then, but it's not really the point of no access to information. But they managed to thrive, or they managed to survive or further or evolve whatever you called it, humans are still here, despite of the lack of information they had back then. And in the maps of meaning, people gave meanings to the symbols that they see. Like, I can't remember on the top of my head, but something ridiculous like the sun is supposed to be some sort of omnipotent being that will, what do you call this? That will give good fortune to ancient civilizations, and virgin sacrifices were some sort of I don't know how to call it. When people did virgin sacrifices, it gave them a confirmation bias that something's working. So like you might see some things like in movies that you have to appease the god, so they give the virgin to a volcano, that kind of stuff. And Jordan Peterson uses it as a reference material to explain the point. Don't take it literally that people actually sacrifice virgins on the mountaintop of a volcano to change the weather. It's not like that, but the literature speaks that people have this method of doing symbolistic stuff and expecting different or positive outcomes. That's where it came from. And the Aztec civilization, I guess, is popular with this because they did human sacrifices. So yeah. So I guess I went on a bit of a rant there. I think Ralph is just being an asshole now. So let's read the questions. Of course, let's entertain the AskHole. We have AskHole live. That's an AskHole, by the way. He asks here, what if the only option is asking a person? Well, ask the person. And just here's a dumb question, I guess. What if the virgin sacrifice is horny? How do I translate this? What if the virgin likes to touch him or herself and is pretty horny or has horny thoughts? Well, that's not really our problem. That's really a problem for the people doing the sacrifice. So, another example that I would bring up is the Salem witch hunts, because I don't know how witchcraft is supposed to be legit back then in Salem, USA or something, but it's a clear example of how confirmation bias can drive people into doing things, horrible things, good things. But in the case of the Salem witch hunts, it was horrible because this happened during the Dark Ages, I believe. Religion was still the strongest thing or influence that drove the people to do things like, I guess, be kind to one another, don't eat pork, things like that. I hope you get the example. But living a conservative life or having not traditional roles, having roles in the community is driven by religion back then. So how do I get there? So that's one big example of a confirmation bias influencing a village or civilization into doing what they do. I want to think of a good thing, actually. This is tricky because yeah, let's stop with the AskHole moment for now. Let me explain why this enemy has startled me for a bit. This guy, the bot, I forgot which magic it is, but I'm trying to see if it's fire or thunder. If you cast magic on this guy, let's see if it has an effect. Something will happen, and the thing with Breath of Fire is some enemies here, if you cast magic on them, they get special effects or they give out perks. In the case of this bot, it gives huge experience. I forgot how to actually activate that. You just have to cast magic on it, and there should be a reference on YouTube on how to do easy XP gains with the encounters of that bot. And what would happen is you'll have access to big levels early on. Don't mind me. Let's just progress the story. I've talked about maps of meaning, I guess, in a short duration. It's kind of a long lecture, maps of meaning. I didn't even finish it, to be honest with you. I've moved on to other topics because sometimes it's kind of hard to pay attention. But I did enjoy how he explained that why is there a dragon in kids' fairy tales, and what did the dragon symbolize back then, and up to the point of why is the dragon being presented as an obstacle or what. It's amazing. And I did look back on how many Jordan Peterson lectures I've listened to, and I thought innocently that I was only watching 10 or 11 episodes, and it turns out, oh my god, I've been binge watching Jordan Peterson videos for a total amount of maybe 5 months. By 5 months worth, just from the clips and the interviews and the talks that he gave. And I don't know what to make of it, if I'm considering myself somewhere in a dark place because it kind of put me off a bit. It's like I don't remember watching this much Jordan Peterson. Anyway, AskHoles. And if you follow the comment thread here on Facebook, Ralph is trying to be an example of an asshole. No, he's just trolling with the questions. But see, that part there where Ralph is actually just throwing questions for fun, that's not an ask-holy thing to do. That's just him poking fun at the topic, because I know he's smart enough to know this, and of course, having conversation actually helps. But AskHoles tend to be someone from your outer circle. You don't know the person enough if he's being serious with the concern, right? And people brand people AskHoles because they think they gave a good answer, but on the side of the quote-unquote asshole, it doesn't really resolve the question, which is, oh shit, wrong, no, fuck puzzle portions of Breath of Fire. Get that. So you see where the problem arises here. It's not really the asshole per se, but a communication issue. There's intonation there. Ralph is commenting. What is asshole? What is Ralph knows the only hole that he knows is the glory hole. That's a nice description. If you insert something in the glory hole, you will be glorified. That is true. Let's see, plot. I think I can talk over this. So, like I said, the asshole thing is more of a communication issue rather than a person, or yeah, I guess you can't really call that a communication issue until you're certain that this person is intently trying to invoke an emotion out of you that is ill-intended. Not like the comment thread that Ralph is doing here is just poking fun, but people that aren't in your inner circle, and they try to test your patience, I guess. You're such a know-it-all, I'll ask you questions over and over again until you run out of answers kind of vibe, or just the person not listening with intent, on what you're talking about. You can consider them AskHoles that are actually fit the, you can consider them AskHoles that fit the brand because they don't have any intention of having a good exchange. They just want to invoke negative emotions out of you. That's why the term has a big negative stigma around it. You don't want to be an asshole, but sometimes you can't help it, or you just unaware. So you get this vibe that maybe I'm the asshole. You don't know because you're not aware, or you don't want the answer, or maybe you just can't accept that you have to do this thing in a certain way, or you have to take action first. Whatever the reason, or whatever, by chance, you're gonna get branded an asshole either way. So yeah, let's see. The mountains, blah 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 blah. Mountain, I don't know. So we were speaking about virgin sacrifices on mountains. Maybe the game will present the game will present something of that kind of thing. See, this is the symbolism that Jordan Peterson discusses on the Maps of Meaning. This is how people interpret how things happened around them, and from what happened around them, they try to do things that would resolve the issues. This is why confirmation bias is a big thing. You can see it from most of the studies that people were not as aware as we are aware now, but from the perspective of the present, we tend not to see how the desperation of the past can lead to actions or something like that. So apparently there is an endless being here, I guess. Oi, what's this? We got Mr. Maynard Beltran. Welcome to the stream, sir. Hello. Don't worry. Mr. Maynard is commenting here. He fell asleep last time. He already gave the disclaimer, so it's fine. I haven't dropped by to his page. By the way, visit his page, Nakaka-Computer Mo Yan page. Search it on Facebook. He does live streaming of retro games. He does it better than anyone I would think that would present nostalgia as the main bread and butter for the content. Because people just play retro games and just hang out. Mr. Maynard here goes in depth and tries to give the immersive feeling of playing the game as a viewer. And I don't know what to do now here. I'm aware that I am playing as the first emperor, but I don't know how to progress. And I was talking about communication issues with AskHoles. I tend to see AskHole as a communication issue, but I guess I'm lacking on the experience department. On maybe there are people that have ill intent that want to get a reaction out of you. Or to be honest with you, I haven't experienced that kind of asshole. That kind of asshole since graduating from the academia, so to speak. Since I'm a graduate now, and I'm trying to go back to the workforce. What the heck? Fou-Lu's gonna die. Let's use some items. I haven't experienced any kind of asshole-ish behavior recently. So, or if I do this, I hate doing this. We got a wait what from Mr. Maynard. Yes. Yes. Let's just leave it at yes. Anyway, no joke. The presentation of Mr. Maynard's stream is one of the better ones for me. Anyway, AskHoles that have ill intent of just getting the negative emotion out of you. People have this phenomenon happen to them, I guess. But I don't want to speak bad or just go whatever, because it doesn't help anyone if I speak bad about certain people, or if I talk about people in a negative manner. That's not really helpful, right? I can set up camp. God damn it. I can rest, I think. Let's go back to town. I took a huge amount of damage there from the... What was that? The Bilbo. Let's return to town. Let's see where to go. I'm losing my track here. Oh, I can't return. Why you do this game? Yep, I can't return. Or I think I can't return. Maybe, perhaps I can, but I need to find the way back to the house. So yeah. Let's see. I remember this is the way. This is the way. There we go. See, just takes a bit of time. And let's rest before I rave on about AskHoles. So I'm quite curious on how people see this phenomenon, because maybe if I don't have a day job, so maybe I'm just disconnected with the phenomenon. I do remember having this unique experience of people actually knowing the process more than me, and they're just asking for validation or verification or what, and still they cannot accept the answer. This can't happen, blah blah blah. I can ask your boss or your supervisor to approve it, but why is it that on the receiving section you're blocking my documents already? That kind of stuff. So maybe I am just disconnected. But anyway, yeah. First and foremost, on the communication issue of the AskHole, because nowadays I see, let's see if I attack this. I can't escape, I think. Okay, so the big damage is, okay, we got a long comment here from Mr. Maynard, but before that, let me finish the no, I can't even finish it. So anyway, communication issue wise, I tend to see people as I can't think of an adjective that will describe them as I'm gonna say that people mostly are unknowing of the topic or the train of thought of other people, so they just share things that might be what they seem to see, or maybe things that they think that people are seeking advice or what, but sometimes people are just there to complain. So there's really no solid topic or solid train of thought. This is how I see it. So for me, AskHole is a communication issue. But I am not saying in any manner that there aren't legitimate people who want to invoke a negative reaction out of you, because that's just being ignorant, and that's not gonna help you guys. So we got the long comment here from Mr. Maynard. What is this? I'm trying to translate this to English, by the way, because this is going to YouTube. So let me see. Let me read first. Oh, he's asking for feedback. Well, for me, when I watch people on stream, sometimes they put so many overlays, but the I guess how they present it, it's kind of confusing. So I don't know if you've encountered this, but maybe you'll encounter it once if you're on Twitch, because in Twitch there are lots of people that have Miami Vice team, the Simple Gamer team, and that's why I'm having this team as lazy as possible, because I can actually make up for it by being talkative or what. And sometimes it's not congruent. Let's see. God, I hate the puzzle portion of Breath of Fire. Oh, we got a... I double take. I did a double take. This creature will flee combat. Well, if we're not gonna attack, let them flee. So, when I watch some streams, if they don't give any acknowledgement on what their overlays are, or if the overlays are there for the sake of just being flashy, and sometimes you can feel the guy is low energy or the girl is just there sitting, kind of see it, and you're gonna get a perspective on what you see. So yeah, that's it for me, because when I see Mr. Maynard stream from Kaka Computer mo yan, it is very nostalgia focused, and it gives references to shows back then. If he is streaming casually, there will be references from anime. If he is streaming other games, there will be points where, god damn it, this guy hurts. Changes, blah, 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 blah. There will be references about the game that is congruent to the time back then. So that's how I see it. So we got Mr. Tristan Abanyo. Thanks for the like, sir. Welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your stay. And the comment here is from Mr. Maynard. Being an asshole. I think you are mishearing me, sir. It's ask. You know the AskHole? They ask questions, you give the answers, and then proceed to dismiss your answer. The AskHole. Because I had this topic in mind, and more recently I don't have this phenomenon happening to me, but people seem to have problems with AskHoles. And when I read the comment discussion or the threads, I see both sides having lack of communication skills, I guess. No, don't worry. Don't worry. What the heck? No worries if you comment in Tagalog or English. Give me the burden of translating it for the YouTubes. So don't worry about that. Being an asshole, yes, because there is such a thing. If you search asshole in the Urban Dictionary, maybe the definition I give is somewhat close to Urban Dictionary definition. I don't know, Sir Maynard, since I don't know what your line of work is, but here's a clear example of a common asshole phenomenon. You know, when you go to a restaurant and say that the staff says that they can't serve this certain dish because they don't have any stock, and some person, whether insane or not, still asks the cashier, "Oh, you don't have any kind of, or you don't have this kind of food? Why so? But I want to order that food." So they dismiss the initial answer and insist on having what they want. AskHoles, man, AskHoles. But that isn't the AskHole that I was explaining earlier with the communication issue, because on the other side of it, people would like to put adjectives on other people nowadays just to have an easier time dealing with it. You don't, you know, your mind can only occupy itself with so many thoughts that having good intent on the other person actually having coherent thoughts or wanting an actual discussion is too stressful for the brain, it seems. So whether or not whether or not you're gonna accept if there's a talking point to be had or not is whether you consider another person an asshole. I don't even know what I'm getting at here anymore because I'm in a boss fight. Now this one I have to timestamp this because it is a boss fight after all. I do remind my viewers that the replay for this episode will be posted on the YouTube channel 8 a.m. tomorrow in our time. I do the post-production process immediately after the stream, so I would appreciate if you visit the YouTube channel. It's in the pinned comment. It's clumped up together with my Linktree, or you can just search on YouTube TLW Restart. So yeah, go ahead, check it out. The previous episodes of the podcast are there, and this is episode 11 after all. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so every Tuesday at 8 a.m. you get notified with new uploads. And also, any uploads that I might feel uploading, because I did some Tekken Death matches, I'm thinking of uploading some. But I am too lazy to edit, so forget that. If you want to see Tekken content, go over on my TikTok. But yeah, I'm not promoting TikTok here. It's more of the YouTube side of things for now. And don't worry about this podcasting. This will be here for a long time because I do have lots of topics lined up. Besides the AskHoles thing. No, I do edit it, Sir Maynard. I edit the intro, and then more recently, since we have the poll option here on Facebook, I put the poll results at the end of the video. So I do an intro, check if there's any sound issues, and then I proceed to upload it. That's the post process of the live stream goes. And for the most part, it only takes about 2 to 3 hours to render. I was about to say 2 to 3 hours total, but I did forget. I still download the stream and then of course the rendering. Never mind the edits. I have the formats in my editor already. So there's that. Man, this boss is tough. Yes, I do have an intro and an outro. Or no, it's not an outro. It's just a poll results. I am thinking of doing an outro. I used to have an outro. There we go. Finally, the boss is dead. There's nothing much to explain about the boss fight. If you went with what I did there, don't let the boss summon the mobs and just use eraser every time he summons those small stones. You'll be fine. And like what was mentioned in a previous episode by Mr. Aldrin, I didn't forget this. Frost Strike is actually stronger than using eraser if the boss fight is a single target enemy. So use that also. We got I don't really have anything to cut, Sir Maynard, so it's not really a tedious task for me. But I still cut because when you start the Facebook stream, right, there's still this thing of dead air or you're not there. And when I upload my YouTube video, I usually skip it to the part where I say, hey, welcome. There we go. Trying to think, what's this? I am drinking Cobra today, so shout outs to Cobra. Sport local. Trying to have a bit of energy here. Maybe I'll extend it for a few more minutes. Let's see. Because I am worried about Fou-Lu here. He's about half-life from that boss fight. Let's use the vitamin, I guess. Life shard. Magic shard. Super vitamin restores all HP. Let's just use vitamin. Okay, so oh yeah, I owe the audience an explanation on what happened from that fight. So apparently there was an anomaly in this volcano, and that is a byproduct of Ryu and Deis's endless presence, I guess. And from that byproduct, they managed to give life or influence, I guess, to that monster, that stone monster earlier. And Fou-Lu here actually checks on that boss. So they had this little dialogue here and there that this supposed stone monster is a volcano god, and Fou-Lu's like, I didn't see you in the endless lobby, so screw you, you're not a god. And the boss fight happened, and we proceed to defeat the stone god. I hope that's a good summary. It's basically what it is. Well, the dialogue is more dramatic, of course, but me, lazy. We got an invite from Mr. Maynard, but I'm too shy for that, sir. I don't really mind, but I can't really commit also. So I'm kind of laissez-faire, as they call it. But yeah, I haven't even listened to the episode that I wanted to listen on the Timeless podcast. So, hey, I guess if you toss me a topic, I'll research about it. But I'm not gonna commit any promises yet, because my priorities right now are still tied to responsibilities and whatnot. So, thank you for the invite. I will consider that. So, proceed. Plot. More things that you don't really need to know. Maybe you can read it on the Wikipedia, but hey. So, now, I forgot the name of the villager girl. It's not, like I said, it doesn't really hold significance. So the villagers will be suspicious of Fou-Lu now because he apparently killed the the mountain god. And we see the dragons here. How many dragons are there? Let me count. Wind dragon is familiar. Mud dragon is also familiar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got the wind dragon here. So I called Ryu. Okay. Diore dragon. This is the mud dragon, I think. And at this point, so how do I explain this? So dragons are endless, so let's call them dragons, right? Dragons in this world actually have two forms, I think. I'm gonna say they have two forms. This one, where they emulate the size of humans or maybe a smaller form, and their actual form that is humongous and actually big. Because I don't know why or how, but it just happens. So it just happens that they have two forms. So we got mud dragon, wind dragon. They are familiar to me. We got this. Yes. Mr. Maynard says, hopefully sometime in the future. Don't worry, sir. I am still, I will be lurking in the shadows like what they do in Assassin's Creed. I'm more of a silent supporter. Because, hey, that's just me. Otherwise, I wouldn't call myself the lone warrior. Oh my god. So that's what it means anyway. Let's go back to the story. Trying to make sense in all of this. I'd like to share with him. So do I finally get to search for the dragons? Whilst we do not seek to see thee fail in thine endeavor, blah blah blah. You are without form of your own, as though the other of the other dragon. Now what dragon is this? Okay. So they're actually burning Urshin here, Deis, because Deis doesn't have a vessel, or doesn't have a separate form. This destiny, okay, so they have to merge Fou-Lu and Ryu. What do you mean he can't escape it? We don't want him to join with his other blah blah blah. Yeah, we got the Mr. Ratnochete. I don't know if what he's referring to is the story. Maybe it's the story thing, because I am going about this fast. Okay, so they're stuck with a problem. The dragons say that Ryu and Fou-Lu cannot be independently, I don't know, they have to merge, so to speak. They cannot be separated, or they cannot live independent lives, or what. So at the end of the day, Ryu and Fou-Lu will actually merge, because they're two parts of a single being. So it's not possible for Ryu to be separated from Fou-Lu permanently. So yeah. Why do you want, also we got the question from Nina, why do you want to prevent Ryu from meeting the Emperor? Is it really that bad? Okay, so the explanation here. Remember what the Abbess in Czech told you about the pillars of light and all, right? So the pillars of light, the influence of an endless being. So what's this? Just born fresh out of the gate. On the other hand, we got Fou-Lu, who built the empire, has been alive for centuries. Whose light do you think is bigger, is stronger? Blah blah blah. Okay. Oh, Ryu is sad. We who watcheth over this spear must ever strive to maintain a position of neutrality. It matters not which becometh a god, does it not? Okay, it matters a lot to me. Okay, so Deis has a self-interest here. Though can't say that. And how are the people in this world any different? So, the dragons roast Urshin or Deis for having an agenda. You plan to use the god's power for self-gain, but Deis says, "Oh, what makes it different from the humans living here, right? They make us work for their benefit. Telling me shit like blah 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 blah." I should be wrapping up soon because I'm tired. But I do want to progress the plot even further. So let's see. What are you doing here? Oh, it's Mami. The girl's name here is Mami. Mami is trying to protect Fou-Lu because I think, I can assume, Mami has the hots for Fou-Lu. She has an infatuation with the first emperor. Okay. So they have no mountain god anymore. Okay, so let's return to the house. Yeah, I've actually run out of things to talk about AskHoles anyway. You know, some people, well, you know what? I haven't really touched on if people are familiar enough to say that this guy is an asshole. I've known this person long enough to say that, man, every time I give answers to this guy, he doesn't really take action, or he doesn't really take what I say into heart, or this guy doesn't really keep in mind on what I'm saying to him. So he thinks I'm worthless or what. Let me get to that, or maybe that's going to be the final word here. So let me set up camp. Let's wrap up the episode once it returns to Ryu, because we got Mr. Ralph Nochetes asking, who is that person? There's no person in mind, so to speak. But with the AskHole topic in mind, I came at it from an angle of innocence, meaning you don't know if you're actually being an AskHole. And we approach it from the intent of people looking to have a negative emotion come out of you. There's that. And they don't know you personally. They just want you to have negative emotions come out of you. And now I'm trying to think if there's a case for the person enough, and you're familiar with the habits that he does, that whatever you say or whatever other people might say, you're certain that this guy is going to be an asshole. So it's not really a specific person per se. It's just the scenario. Let me escape here first. So what now? I can't go to the normal route that I go because there are soldiers. I can't go through the cabbages here because it's unpassable terrain. Oh, supposed to return to the house, I guess. What is this? What matter is this village to me? Okay. And yet, now Fou-Lu is remember when the game said there's a part of Fou-Lu that is in Ryu? So now there is a part of Ryu that is in Fou-Lu. And Fou-Lu here is having a dilemma of having this village destroyed. That's why he tried to save the village when the volcano was acting up. He doesn't want the volcano to actually harm the village, and now he can actually deal with the soldiers here easily, but he doesn't want to blow up the village. This is the Ryu part inside of Fou-Lu. And at least the villagers here are trying to help, I guess. Trying to hide Ryong or Fou-Lu. What the heck? Where did that plywood come from? So Jesus, I kind of hate how Fou-Lu speaks. It's hard to translate, but yeah, he's essentially saying that keeping him here is doing the villagers more harm than good. And look at this thirsty girl, mommy. I know it's silly, it cannot be, but I wish so hard it would, that Fou-Lu would stay by mommy's side. Forgive me, I never should have made you stay here. Okay, so open the door. The oven will be broken, you can crawl through it. She's speaking to Fou-Lu. Okay. Do we save mommy here? Oven. This one. Okay. So what does Fou-Lu do actually? It's a cutscene, by the way. Do we go around and destroy the Empire soldiers, or Fou-Lu just escapes? Oh, we got the general here. I forgot the name of the general. He likes to do the summoning of creatures. Did you live with him? He was hot. I was trying to breathe with him. Take her back to Astana. Oh, now they're gonna use mommy as a... Oh my god. This game, sometimes it hides the dark stuff with its beautiful art. Oh my god. It hurts. The general mentioned something about Astana and the Carronade, right? Carronade is a hex weapon in this game which uses the essence of human life as its ammunition, and that what do you call this? That Carronade is actually the prime source of hex that this game is so afraid of. Now we're back at Dragon Talk. So now Mami is going to be a human sacrifice. No! After we've been attached to Mami and how she presented herself to Fou-Lu as, please daddy, don't leave. Okay, blah 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 blah. So they have to meet. Okay. So once before have we met in the Barren Sands. So this is the Sand Dragon. That that thing that looks like it has a diving headpiece. So this is the time we need to search for the dragons. Maybe I'll do this off stream, because that would be boring, or what? Combat me. We don't need that dialogue anymore, so I don't think I'm near the ending portion of Breath of Fire 4, because I've yet to get the last party member. You are now unable to draw upon the Wind Dragon's Fire. Neat. Learn Rainstorm. Nice. So once I do the meditation, I can have access to another dragon, that is Pongryong. Don't like it here. What about Ryu? Okay, blah blah blah. I'm hungry. Let me set up camp. Speak the final words for the stream. Wait a minute. Don't tell me I have to return all the way to the entrance. Here now. Don't I get a shortcut or something? Come on. Alright. Let's return to the outside world via doing this backtracking. Anywho. And that was a doozy. That 1 hour passes by so fast. I don't think I'll be facing I spoke too soon. Here's the random encounter, and I was about to say that maybe I won't get random encounters here now. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do final words now. Should end the stream. Funny story though. When I got the new rig for streaming from Mr. Ralph, it didn't come with the speakers, or I don't have the proper equipment to actually have the headset microphone functioning at the same time, since I don't have a USB microphone on hand. I thought I had one, but I didn't. So now I had to do a workaround here. So I'm actually just using my regular JBL earpiece with the mic attached to it, and what's weird now is my DS4 controller is acting as a USB headset, because it's convenient that the DS4 has a built-in microphone feature, so you can actually just jack in your earpiece. If it has a built-in microphone, you can actually use it as some sort of headset. It acts like a headset. Unlike if I just insert the jack directly to the I guess CPU or the big system unit, or to the green jack, where if I insert it there, only what do you call this? The output from the desktop is the only one that is functioning. I can't even I can't even explain this properly. So you only have the audio output functioning, and you can't have access to the input. The workaround of having a DS4 controller is you can have the jack, the DS4, and function as same as a regular earpiece. So that's nice. So I have my DS4 lying around here on the floor. And if I stream Tekken, I don't have to do that silly workaround. Last time I streamed Tekken, I was wearing a separate earpiece for the microphone, and I've what do you call this? I left this JBL speaker on the jack, so I can detect the audio. The Imperial Army is here. Wow, shocker. The game is just giving on gifts on the plot device. Familiar face here. Okay. So much for the secret village of Czech. The Empire has actually found it. The Yore Drag will be here. You're almost right, but you're also wrong. Ryu is not here. Oh, wrong. So how will the village chief? I had the village evacuated a while ago. They're safe. Okay. So that's nice preemptive work by the village chief. Urshin is laughing because they have a problem. You know what? I'm gonna save here. Final words, I guess. Because I'm too tired. I want to edit this portion of the game later on. So let's save. You're probably going to see the next episode with Urshin as the next scene. So final thought on the AskHole. There's going to be a point where the AskHole will come from your inner circle or someone you're familiar with, and maybe you can do something about it. I'll give you options, but the scenario would most probably be the AskHole is you know him or her, and you have your daily conversations. You interact with each other on a time-to-time basis, and sometimes they come to other people. They make the rounds, ask for advice. What should I do? How do I do this? And you give your advice. Then sometimes they just don't do it, or what's worse is they proceed to argue that what advice you're giving, they already did that, or it doesn't help, or it's not the shortcut they were looking for. And some people actually experience, or no, it's kind of anecdotal, but you will experience that, hey, I've been giving advice, or I've been helping this person, and yet again and again he doesn't acknowledge, or he or she doesn't acknowledge what I'm trying to give here. So what do you do? Well, the easy answer would be just to let them be right, but I'm gonna give you another option, which is lead by example, or just do it. Sometimes people have how would I put it? They have doubts, and they have, I'm trying to say the word, it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't really speak out. It's kind of there. They're kind of critical. Let's put it that way. They're kind of critical from what source their advice is coming from. So this goes for me also. I've been giving AskHole stories, actions, and advice. Probably for the audience, you might as well, you have plans to deal with these people. It might work, it might not, but I am leaving this topic for people who might encounter problems, I guess, and just me explaining, or how would I approach it, and some things that I might have experience. I'm not gonna definitely say that 100% I've experienced this certain scenario, but there are things that I've encountered. I look back at it, I should have done this, or I look back at it, I did this, and what what an experience. So an action that an easy way for an out with an AskHole that you are familiar, just ignore it, or give your advice, let it be, because either way the same result will happen. They're not gonna listen to you, and they're not gonna take your advice in mind and in heart. And another advice would be, lead by example. Like I said, you can have your answer come from your experiences. At the very least, you'll have some ground on what to speak. You'll have some solid foundations on what answer is, or where you're coming from in terms of your answer. So there's also that option. So let's say that people are asking for advice on how to lose weight, something simple. Let's not overcomplicate it, and you just say, eat less, and maybe the first reaction when you get the question that, how so, can you teach me, can you guide me, do you have any idea on how to lose weight fast? Or maybe there's a secret technique, and you go on to explain that secret techniques don't really work, it causes more harm than good. And you give options like intermittent fasting, salt diet, keto diet, and you give the option to the person you're giving advice to. And sometimes they just can't accept, or they just get paralyzed with the amount of information, or it flies over their head, and it's causing them more stress actually. So rather than explaining it over and over again, going through it one by one, this is this is that, or that is that, this is this, you might want to just show it, or just come from your experiences and explain it from there. Because I don't want to say this with 100% coming from my what I've learned, but people are monkey see, monkey do. They like to imitate things that they see, and if it seems beneficial for them, they imitate it and proceed to work from there. It's called mirroring. So people are monkey see, monkey do. Call people apes, or gorillas. Mirroring is actually a great method, because some people don't know how to start to take action. And if you don't have a mentor per se, or you don't have any teacher to guide you, you look for what works. And usually what works is what successful people do, or in this case, what you deem is successful. So you mirror what they do, how they act, what they speak, what they eat, with the hopes of having the same result as them. So that's one. So we can go on deeper on how mirroring isn't really a fundamental basis on how to improve yourself, because first off, it is improving yourself usually comes inward, but that's a topic for another day. Maybe I'll save it later on. But leading by example would be a great way for you to deal with AskHoles, because while explaining why things could be right or wrong, or you can explain it step by step to a person, the problem of experiencing an AskHole, let's put those in quotation marks, because people will be confused on what is an AskHole, what is an AskHole. That's That's a tongue twister for you. What is an AskHole or what is not? Because they can't really point out first if it's a communication issue, or if it's a person coming from ill intent, or it's their familiarity with the person that um, just likes to commiserate in misery, I guess. Let's say it that way. It's commiserate in misery. I like to be miserable. Please accompany me in my misery. Let's be miserable together. We're in our miserable pit of sadness and we'll sorrow ourselves to sleep. And that's enough of that. Anyway, those are my final words. Anyway, if you've watched this long enough on the YouTube channel, I do appreciate listening to me. So if I could ask a like and subscribe, that would be a big help to boost the channel, and more future episodes coming up in the future. And for those who are watching on Facebook, I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm going to try to send you to another streamer. So this is it, guys. I'm going to take a rest. I am in the studio, so I'm more talkative than usual because there's no external noises. It's kind of quiet. So anyway, I'll see you next time, guys.